Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101, just about 7 minutes away from Fest. So another chance to get to a new festival this week, Montreal, Osheaga, and Riot Fest. Then after that, we will call the winner of last week's Minnesota Yacht Club Festival. No one knows who that winner is. We have the winner, and we'll call him right afterward. But let us in from a little bit of a recap to Friday, Aisle 101, the wedding. It happened. So last several months, over 130 people had applied for this to give away a free wedding from Kari, who runs the Haight in Elgin, a beautiful, magnificent place. And it narrowed down to 10 in case you didn't hear this part of the show. And then finally, our couple won, and it was a just incredible night for a wedding. The sun out, because it was outside.
Gorgeous.
Yeah. The wedding venue has kind of a deck, and that's where the wedding happened. The reception then was inside, and it just, wow, that place was beautiful.
So, yeah, what's so cool about the Haight, it's in downtown Elgin, which obviously really, really cute, like old schooly downtown. But there's multiple spots within the Haight that you could get married, have your cocktail hour, and then have the reception. Like the ceremony, reception, cocktail hour, you have a bunch of choices for where all of those things could be. So our couple chose like a rooftop wedding and an outdoor cocktail, and then the rest of the night was inside with that like gorgeous like drape lighting. It was like super romantic. So the Haight in Elgin, Kari owns it, and when we say that somebody won a wedding, we don't just mean they got a venue and they got officiants, because Brian and I officiated, which was awesome. Kari also owns a company called The Gowns for Good, right? And she sells like affordable wedding dresses as well as formal dresses. So like even like Mother of the Bride and things like that. And all the money goes back into buying more dresses to sell affordable / also being donated to good causes, which is awesome.
It's awesome.
So the bride got her dress for free, her veil for free, everything. The hubby wore a gorgeous green, if you saw on our socials, like emerald suit. And that came from the suit shop. I mean, every single thing was taken care of. So Willard Wilcox, he's actually opening at the Taste of Joliet for Billy Corgan. He did all the music when they were walking down the aisle, the whole cocktail he played live.
He was, by the way, he was outstanding just on a guitar himself.
Holy crap. He was really good. He was really talented.
Yeah, just by himself out there playing, and he's got a full band that will be playing with opening for Billy Corgan out there at Taste of Joliet.
Yeah, the Still Life did all the photography, so all the wedding photography for the whole day, like getting ready photos, everything taken care of. Uncle Bub's catered all of the food, which was out of this world. The bar was the bar. Okay, they did all the drinks. Delicious cakes. Did the couple's custom wedding cake. We had that up on our socials because it was beautiful. Down to their linens were taken care of. Windy City Linens did all of the linens. So they won a wedding, honey. Every single detail. STL did like their makeup and hair. It was unbelievable. Every single detail that you would have to book for a wedding was covered. So when we were like, oh, a couple's going to win a wedding, it wasn't like code for you're going to have to spend $20,000 to book the rest of the stuff, though. Like everything was taken care of.
By the way, Kenzie was talking to you, honey, when she gave out that case. You honey.
Yes,
the whole
Huntsy.
wedding. And Eric and Anna were their whole family, everybody. It was just a tremendous gathering, about 100 people for the wedding. And a couple things to point out. Obviously, all those incredible sponsors that helped make it happen. And the barbecue was ridiculous. So this is also something, of Aisle 101, you get a bonus when you win a wedding from us. Never seen this happen ever before at a wedding. Beautiful buffet of the barbecue. Ate that up. A little bit of some of the speeches happened. They come back on. Greg Corner, our guy who did the DJing of it. Amazing, by the way, Greg Corner.
Fantastic DJ.
And then he goes on the mic and goes, so by the way, they've let me know that if anybody wants seconds, you can come back up to the buffet. Even though weddings have buffets, I've never heard them say you can come back for seconds, ever. I did when they announced that.
Now, that raises an interesting question, Brian. When we last spoke on Friday, you were discussing that you hadn't tried on the pants that you were going to wear to the wedding.
I have my wedding suit, and I haven't worn it. I figured out I haven't worn it since last Memorial Day for an event.
And
you said you've gained 12 pounds since the
Yes.
last time you wore the pants, which is a big deal.
For a slim fit suit.
Yes. You were concerned, to put into your words, you were concerned that a button was going to pop off and, quote, kill grandma.
Correct.
I haven't read the police blotter. I don't know if there were any deaths in Elgin on Friday. what type of pants did we end up wearing to the function?
So I can tell you this. I got home from the show, and I had to get dressed there and then drive to Elgin for the wedding. Mm-hmm. When I put the pants on, that's why I like to wait. It was a fun little game I was playing. If the pants are going to fit.
It was a hoot.
And, if the pants are going to fit is the name of the game. And boy, did they not fit. I tried to pull. They're not like Lycra. This is not some big baggy suit from the 90s. This is a form-fitting suit. Very stylish. You can see the pictures at Q101's Facebook page. And I thought, I'm not joking. I have my toolbox in the bedroom because I was doing some work on something else. I thought to use pliers to help pull the pants so I could get the hook hooked because I couldn't. And finally, I just took the biggest and then I got it buttoned. And I go, okay, I'm good. And boy, I thought it was a tourniquet on my lower body that everything below that, I might be paralyzed by the time I get to Elgin. Mm-hmm. That didn't happen. What happened was I don't know how to say this. I guess my fat molded around the belt line of the suit. And all of a sudden, they became one. They became friends.
Wow. And then you
redistributed like a tube of toothpaste.
That's pretty much accurate, too.
And then you still got a second plate of barbecue buffet.
Well, by the time I got there, I see Kenzie, so it's about an hour and a half later, let's say, and she goes like, so, the pants fit? I go, I don't know if they did or not.
He goes, I think they're starting to break in, though. That's what he said to me.
It's not a baseball glove.
He's breaking in his suit. He goes, they're starting to, like, mold a little bit. And I'm like, okay.
I think you described it perfectly. It's like a tube of toothpaste. Like, I felt great by the time I got to the wedding, but everything's been redistributed. And I wore those all the way home. And then when I undid it, then I realized where all the toothpaste went. It redistributed to where it should be. And that's where I'm at now.
I bet it looked like Brian was still wearing those pants when he took them off. You can see the button and
red
like
mark?
the zipper.
Yeah. Boy, my basketball shorts when I got home felt amazing. It felt glorious.
Oh, my God.
And again, the seconds on that barbecue was incredible. And also, I don't know, the desserts, Kenzie, the cake pops. Mm-hmm. I think I had 17 of them. There was the cake pops and brownie bites, and it was on a big table, so you didn't have to ask. You just could go and get them.
Oh, that's
well, boy,
awesome.
was that the first mistake they made.
That was a big
They're going to
mistake.
treat the next dessert table like Walmart. They're being cages with a key.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101, and we just gave out the keyword for the Osheaga Festival, which is this week's festival in Q101 Fest. Text the word WICKED to 312-591-8300 if you haven't, for your chance to win that, and one-day tickets to Riot Fest. You choose the day you go to. Now, last week, we had the Minnesota Yacht Club Festival. That's done, and we have people on the phone that may or may not be a winner, so let's just bring up a couple people here and talk to Sean first. Sean, ahoy, what's going on with you? Tell us about your life.
Hey, how are you? I'm good. Just talking to Case and just did drop off, so there were a bunch of kids screaming. But, yeah, excited at the opportunity to possibly win some tickets.
Oh, you dropped your kid off and everybody was screaming, or what happened there?
The kids were screaming, yeah, not everybody else. So
It wasn't a horror scene.
Yeah, exactly. No, they were good screams.
Okay, I pictured this kind of Walking Dead, a horde of kids coming toward your car to try to take you down.
Yeah, no, it's Monday, so they haven't seen each other in a really long time, a couple days, so they were super excited and, yeah, just going crazy.
Wow, think about that happiness for a second. Like you're a
Right.
kid and you get back to school. You can't wait till Monday to see your friends.
Yep.
Think about that, Kenzie.
A miracle. Old times.
Is there anybody you're looking forward to seeing? You'd scream, Kenzie? Anybody?
Anybody?
Anybody in your
Like
life?
bands or like actual people?
No, actual bands or people. But when you were a kid and you got back to school Monday and how excited you were to see your friends again.
Yeah, no, it's good times. Especially like elementary's that vibe. Once you hit junior high and high school, you're like, crap. But
Yeah.
elementary, you scream because you're excited. There's like class parties and stuff still.
Well, Sean, I think people are going to be screaming when you get home because you are the winner to the Minnesota Yacht Club Festival. You're going to see the festival. You're a full trip to go see the Minnesota Yacht Club and Riot Fest one-day passes.
Yeah, awesome. This is great.
Good. You better get someone else to pick up those kids. You're going on vacation, baby.
Yeah, totally unexpected. I was like, all right, kids, I've got to pick up this. I got to pick up this number because I know what it is. let's hope you get in there all right. I watched them from afar, and yeah, they're in the school, so they're good. But yeah, this is awesome. Thank you.
You're going to
Did
see.
you jump out of a moving car? You're like, whoa.
No. The lineup outside the school before they go in, and then the teacher comes out and
Good.
picks them up.
Well, the lineup you're going to see is Green Day, Sublime, and 311, and Garbage, and Fall Out Boy, and Weezer. And that's just at the trip to the Minnesota Yacht Club. Then Riot Fest, where you'll pick your day. Blink on Friday, Weezer and Jack White on Saturday, and Green Day on Sunday. You can end up seeing Green Day or Weezer twice, depending on what day you pick.
Yes, awesome. Very excited.
Hang on, Casey's going to give you all your information. And again, as we move forward, we're now with the Osheaga Festival, and that would be in Montreal, which James in Bloomingdale checked in and said, I need to win that trip. I want to go to Montreal.
No, you're totally right. So James in Bloomingdale, as well as everybody else who's like, it's not fair, pick me once. We have a lot of Fest left that you still have a chance to be picked.
Yeah, we're totally just kind of getting started in a way. It's going to go for several more weeks.
Yes.
And if you text WICKED right now to 312-591-8300, you could be like Sean and going to that festival. And, just for a minute, I thought about this with Fest and with the wedding we just talked about on Friday. We may have some new listeners of the show that don't realize what we've already done up to this point through May. And it's really cool to look back at this and go, man, sometimes you think, and my reference of time is so weird on what we've done and what we haven't done. So thankfully, Case wrote it all down for me to come up with a list of the great things we've done this year so far, like the I-101 wedding on Friday. Last week, I went out to the Get to the Point pencil drive, dropping those off to a lot of the schools around the area. You donated 4,000 pencils, and we're taking them out to the schools, and the joy on these kids' faces is unbelievable, and the teachers as well. We had one of the biggest Q101 free pop-ups ever, Coed and Cambria at the Cubby Bear. We had our St. Patrick's Day broadcast, which is one of the biggest ones ever.
That was very fun.
And the Cubs home opening broadcast we already did, too, at Almost Home. St. Patrick's Day with Lizzie's, Cubs broadcast at Almost Home. We just played Mumford & Sons. We had their exclusive Chicago Theater Experience, where you heard the album before anybody else. You got to go backstage, where I hosted an event where you met the band. We've had on the show interviews with Rise Against, Bert Kreischer, the survivor of the Delta plane crash in Canada, which, by the way, all those are on Q101's YouTube channel, so make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's all there for you. We crowned a new winner of Piece of Garbage Madness, which was artificial intelligence. We sent a listener to Las Vegas to see Alanis Morissette. And, again, still doing Fest. So Q101's taking care of you. If you just listen, we got all these free experiences to have some good times with and see some great music and events.
And I just want to say, because we got that Fest word in, and we're already getting texts with Wicked.
Yup.
We're getting a lot of emojis along with the word Wicked. Some to go with the band, like, the song, and then some to go with the musical. Both will not let the word get entered. So just keep that in mind. Make sure you text the word on its own without explanation points, without any other information, so that way it gets entered into the system.
Got it. You hate emojis. Got it.
I just want them to be able to win, you see.
Yeah, actually, Kenzie likes emojis in our text thread. It's just about this. You cannot win. You can't add an emoji. It will not enter. So Wicked to 312-591-8300. Just the word, damn it.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
You may be wondering why I mentioned Lifehouse, what I said before that on the ramp of the song very quickly. We discovered the band went on hiatus about 25 years ago.
No, the band formed 25 years ago. They went on hiatus about 5 years ago.
Got it. You're right on that one.
Got it.
My bad.
Nailed it.
And this October is the band's 25th anniversary of forming. And I love that song. So we're trying to get together to get them to reform for some kind of event with Brian and Kenzie, just to play that song, and they can leave and then go back to retirement, whatever they want to do. That's what they can do.
Balls
So
in
it's a
your court.
one-song event?
Yes.
They could play 15 versions of that song, and I'll be happy.
You want like
You want me to DM them like I did 21 Pilots?
Yes, actually.
Yeah, that didn't work, though, when you did that with 21 Pilots.
No. We got him eventually, though. Manifestation.
We did. Can you DM Lifehouse right now? Maybe by the end of Music Entertainment News, we'll see what they say.
I don't think he'll respond that fast, but I will DM him and I'll post an update.
I think they'd probably respond quick, like, hey.
Yeah. Kenzie, I don't know if you've noticed, you have this effect on bands that had a hit in the 90s or early 2000s. They tend to gravitate towards you in a way that they don't Brian and I.
I love my bands.
Yeah, go ahead. Send a DM to Lifehouse, see what's going on with that.
They're like all my sweethearts. Every time we interview somebody, they follow me on Instagram. I'll be like, They're so sweet. They just follow me and like my picture. Brian's like, well, they don't follow me every time.
Nope. I'm sitting there with a follow, just sitting there.
We keeps reloading the page.
Yeah. Kind of like Mark Zuckerberg at the end of The Social Network. He's got a billionaire, but he's trying to see if his girlfriend got his friend yet. That's me after a band comes in. Yep. That's it. We have some tickets for Orny Adams, hilarious comedian at the end of Music Entertainment News, just a few minutes away. So hang out for that. In the meantime, The Simpsons did a ska episode a week ago, and somehow we missed it on Sunday, May 4th. Episode 16 of season 36 aired and starred a character, and you know how we love ska here on the show. He named a character, was called Maximilian von Wendhelm.
That's a ska character.
Wow.
You're going to like this even more, Kenzie. He's a member of the ska band called the Skankfurters. That's fun.
That's funny.
Maximilian, by the way, that band playing Riot Fest.
That's right.
Maximilian is more focused on trying to kickstart another ska revival than he is on keeping the family business alive. So here's a scene from that Simpsons episode that aired a week ago.
Ska is no future. How much was your band paid to perform at the grand opening of the Continental Tire Store? $50. But there are 17 of you, and several who do nothing but dance around. This recipe is at the center of everything we believe. Please, let me pass this on to you.
Oh, ska is so fun.
There's 17 of you.
And he said just like remember our friend of the show, Dickie Barrett, the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones, their manager used to be the guy on stage dancing. When you saw that, there was always one guy just right to the right of him dancing around and getting the crowd hyped. That was their manager.
Part of the experience.
Oh, man. Mighty Mighty Boss Tones, a veteran of many Q101 shows back in the day. Simpsons also, of course, had tons of bands on the show all these years, like the Red Hot Chili Peppers in 1993. Got to go back that far for Krusty Gets Canceled, that episode.
Fantastic episode.
And by the way, the cancellation stuff, that's canceling his show, not canceled because of, sexual harassment.
From Krusty.
Racist tweet. I think they did do that episode where they found old Krusty the Clown tweets.
I was just going to say, if anyone's going to get canceled because of bad tweets on The Simpsons, it would probably be Krusty.
Springfield's premier clown lost his show, but Bart and Lisa Relly, Krusty's gaggle of celebrity friends like Johnny Carson, Hugh Hefner, and a fearlessly eco-conscious Bette Midler, and Luke Perry, rest in peace, for a star-studded comeback special. That episode also featured an appearance from the Red Hot Chili Peppers, who were forced to edit their lyrics to meet the network's standards on The Simpsons episode. This was great.
Now, boys, the network has a problem with some of your lyrics. Would you mind changing them for the show?
Forget you, clown.
Hey, our lyrics are like our children, man. No way.
Well, okay. But here what you say, what I got, you gotta get and put it in you. How about just, what I'd like to hug and kiss you.
Wow. That's much better. Everyone can enjoy that.
Everyone could enjoy that.
That really got you.
I remember seeing that episode in real time, and I forgot how funny that was. Oh, man.
Well, the next one's my favorite. It's when the Smashing Pumpkins were on The Simpsons.
Yeah, that was Homer Palooza.
Yeah.
All-time classic when Homer becomes the freak show cannonball guy for the Hullabalooza. Of course, this was a rip on the Jim Rose Circus in Lollapalooza that had all the freaks on it and met some 90s alt-rock staples from the height of Lollapalooza era, including, yes, Billy Corgan of the Smashing Pumpkins on The Simpsons. Another wonderful episode.
Hey, Cannonball. I like your statement. When life takes a cheap shot at you, you stand your ground. Billy Corgan, Smashing Pumpkins.
Homer Simpson, smiling politely. You know, my kids think you're the greatest. And thanks to your gloomy music, they've finally stopped dreaming of a future I can't possibly provide.
Well, we try to make a difference.
Oh, God. So good.
You love The Simpsons so much.
I really do.
Have you ever been to Springfield, USA, home of The Simpsons, like to do the Simpsons ride and stuff at Universal?
No, I don't know what that is.
Oh my, Universal Studios has Springfield, and it's like The Simpsons world.
Where's that?
Universal Studios, like in Florida.
Oh, no, I don't know what that is.
Oh my God. You don't know what Universal Studios is?
I don't think he knows that much,
Like all
Kenzie.
the big theme park?
Kenzie, you got to start way back. You got to go further back.
So it's a huge theme park that Universal Studios owns because it's based off like movies, TV shows. They have the rights, all that. So they also have like a superhero world, like the Marvel world, like things like that.
Is it like roller coasters?
tons of roller coasters, tons of rides. You would love the Simpsons ride. You would love it because it's all like, they're kind of like the leader in doing a lot of those like video-based rides.
Okay.
So you feel like you're like flying and all that, like, and it's like an immersive experience.
So amusement parks terrify me. I don't know if I'm.
But this isn't like a big like drop roller coaster. You would love this.
Can I like go to the Quickie Mart? That's really all I want to do.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
oh
They
my
have
God, really?
everything.
Okay.
They have like a Duff beer. They have like a Quickie Mart. They have the whole Springfield. Oh my God. Oh my God. I want to bring you so bad. You have to, Brian. He would lose his mind there.
We wouldn't get him back. That's the problem. He'd go live there.
So actually,
forever.
they have. This is really cool. You guys, we have to do this. We have to like get them to invite us because they actually have a radio broadcasting booth. I've radio broadcasted from there before. Oh my gosh, Case, you would have. This is like your trip. I know you didn't get to go to London with us, but you'd have.
No, I
You
didn't.
would have so much fun there.
This is in Orlando?
Yes, it's so fun.
You sound like someone.
It is so much fun. You would love it.
You sound like someone that just awoke from a time capsule from 1820 that was their
We
body was
have to bring
frozen.
him, Brian. We have to bring him. I feel like he's our kid, and they just opened this like really cool thing that's all like everything he's interested in. We have to bring him.
Oh.
Universal Studios has the most amazing. The Springfield area is amazing.
Case, what do you think about that?
This is in Orlando?
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101, a massive, one of the biggest sporting events is happening in Chicago tonight. Let's get to sports.
The Q101 Morning Crew. Sports.
It's not the White Sox because they'll be playing tomorrow night, but they won the series against the Marlins after yesterday's 4-2 victory, which came from Tim Elko, a guy they brought up. They're looking for some hitting. They got him. This guy's been around and in the system. Played when a torn ACL in college, Tim Elko did. Carried Ole Miss to the College World Series in 2022. Drafted in the 10th round. Signed Kenzie for $35,000.
That's nice.
Yeah. Righteous bucks. He was hitting .348 with 10 home runs in AAA Charlotte. He was called up on Saturday. That's important to note. Hit a 3-run home run in the bottom of the 6th to give the White Sox the 4-1 lead over the Marlins on Mother's Day, and this is what it sounded like.
Elko hits this one hard. Left field, going back. It is gone! Welcome to Chicago, Tim Elko.
All right, Southside, baby. Let's go.
He is the person giving us hope right now. I mean, he was unfortunately the White Sox AAA affiliate in Charlotte is very fun. A lot of good players on that Charlotte team.
Well, they lost one. He's here in the White Sox now.
I know. Maybe I don't know if they should steal a few more guys. Maybe have good players in Chicago instead of Charlotte. I don't know what they're going to do. But Tim Elko, very exciting. A new reason to actually watch the White Sox.
The goal when you're in Charlotte is to get to the South Side. So he got here, and it was really nice because his mom, Cheryl Elko, was in the ballpark, so she got the ball and the bat he gave to her that he hit that home run off of. A nice Mother's Day gift. So Tim Elko, he's here. Let's go. See what happens. Again, they have a game tomorrow with the Reds. Now, also over the weekend, the last couple of days, it's been completely verified now that the Pope is a White Sox fan. We verified that, of course, last week as got through it. The Cubs tried to claim, listen, I'm a Cubs fan. It would have been nice to claim a Pope. Haven't done that. But they were lying. The Cubs were putting him up on the board because he's on the White Sox board as he was seen. Now, the Sun-Times posted this, but who posted it originally, Case? Or at least we think who posted it originally.
The people I'm giving credit to the video for is Sox on 35th, which is a fantastic White Sox blog. We use their stuff all the time. Those guys cover the team better than anybody. They are the first people that I saw that had the video of the now Pope at the 2005 World Series Game 1, which I believe was the game that Barack Obama also attended as a senator at the time. So crazy stands there. But hey, Pope was at a White Sox World Series game. That's pretty cool.
And as far as we know, with the video that I've watched it several times, he doesn't swear. The Pope doesn't swear watching a White Sox game, which is very rare watching a White Sox game.
You're telling me.
Even for a Pope. It's very rare.
He wasn't like motorboating somebody in the stands after a Paul Konerko double.
Well, and I would like to clarify that. I got a couple texts. It's like, why are you coming for him? Why are you doing this? I am not. I don't understand what popes were allowed to do in public and what they weren't allowed to do leading up to being a pope. I thought they kind of had to have like that nun life where like you didn't do anything besides, be in the church and like you don't have alcohol and you don't date, you don't do that. I thought that that's the life they had to live. So when I saw him at a baseball game, I was shocked. I was shocked that he was allowed to do that.
I want to quote the show from earlier because we do sports in the first run at 7 o'clock where Kenzie said, can he go backstage at a Def Leppard show? Is he allowed to do that?
Like, he's allowed to just do whatever he wants and it's fine, or is there things he's not allowed to be around?
Now, I will note that after more research on 20 years ago, that he was not, I said he was just a priest. He was actually a cardinal by then.
He was living in Peru. He flew back to Chicago like a real one for that game.
How about that? That flight
that
can't
means
be
he
cheap.
has social media. Like, he had to be on his phone to be like, I didn't know they made it this far. Like, did I follow the Pope?
Wait. It was 2005.
MySpace was around.
Lifelong White Sox fan, and you're telling me that he found out the White Sox were in the World Series because of social media and went, I have to go fly back there now.
Yeah, because what is he? He's in Peru. He wasn't at a sports bar, probably. Maybe he was. Tell me what they're allowed to do.
Okay, this is where the show leads. Case, find me a sports bar in Peru.
I don't even know where Peru is. That a country or a city?
Oh my God! Start there.
Yikes! Not good.
La Fabrica.
It's very small.
Okay, all right. In Peru, La Fabrica Sports Bar. It's in Cusco, Peru, and it has 4 stars on Google reviews.
But my point is, I don't think they were playing the White Sox game.
Oh, why not?
Because that's not really the sport. Like in Peru, that's not like the gym. Like, they're playing football for sure. When you're,
But with so much football, you think you might want a baseball game now and then. A lot of baseball players come from Peru.
So, like, you think he got off. He's like, it's not Sunday. Okay, because priests don't be resting on Sunday, period, right? So maybe Monday's their day of rest.
Why'd you snap your fingers when you said that?
Okay. So you think it's a Monday and he's at the sports bar in Peru and that's how he found out? I think he was getting, like, tweets. Like, he's finding out via Twitter back then. It's 2005.
He has a brother that lives here. His brother could have called him and said, the White Sox are in the World Series.
Like, his phone went off during Mass.
All of a sudden, it's diddle-doo-doo, diddle-doo-doo, diddle-doo-doo-doo. Popple, you want to pick that up? Wasn't the Popple yet.
It's just his brother yelling, like, Jermaine Dye just hit a double. We're going to the World Series.
Why aren't you effing picking up?
What, are you busy or something?
All right, the Cubs lost the series against the Mets after a wildly awesome game on Saturday night with Cade Horton's debut. So both teams had big debuts from players that expect very big things from. And Dansby Swanson also homered to get that victory. It was a great game Saturday night with the Cubs.
Mills 1-2 is lifted in the air, left center field. That one is long gone. Swanson has found the power stroke, and it's 4-0 Chicago. His 4th home run in the last 11 games.
It's a shame they couldn't get the series. So there you go. Cubs have the Marlins. They just kind of crossed the street. So that's good. Give them a little confidence boost, hopefully, with the Marlins for the next couple nights. The Cubs get back on track. The NBA Draft Lottery is tonight in Chicago, one of the biggest sporting events of the year. Everybody looks forward to it, of course. It's at McCormick Place, which love McCormick Place. Went to the auto show this year. Love all the events they do there. It's perfect. It seems a little big for the NBA Draft Lottery. It's 12 guys on desks, on podiums. They could have done it at a Buffalo Wild Wings. Would have been great in select cities around. I don't know where all the Buffalo Wild Wings are, but they could have just picked the Buffalo Wild Wings and did it there. That would have been great. I don't think you need to go.
Well, it does seem like if it's at McCormick and it's empty, like, when you pick a venue too big and it's like you could sell out decently, but if you're in a venue that's too big, it makes you look bad.
Yeah, they could have done this at the Metro.
Yeah, it's going to echo.
Yeah, and then they look like, they're really doing something.
I mean, there's plenty of Buffalo Wild Wings locations that you
Because there's going to be a joke about how no one's there, but it's really such a big place. Like, why would you set yourself up for failure?
Wow, there's like 15 Buffalo Wild Wings around Chicago.
Oh, my God. Now is not the time. Now is not the time. You know what there is? There's a Shaq's Big Chicken in Rosemont. They could have done it there.
Oh, I love that place. They have a free video game center.
Yeah, no, it's awesome.
We went there right when it opened on the way back from the Renaissance Festival.
That's right.
And I can tell you that, first off, it was epic after the Renaissance Festival because I already ate the big turkey leg, and I still wanted the Shaq's Big Chicken sandwich. But I can tell you this, as God is my witness, those sandwiches...
As the Pope is your witness.
The Pope is my... Pope Bob as my witness. The sandwiches at Shaq's Big Chicken look like the commercial.
They do.
They're so good. Thank you.
They're so good.
Thank you, Pope
And
Kenzie.
you know what they have? They have really good different flavors of sodas, like strawberry cream soda. Like, they got like all this extra stuff going on. It's bomb.com.
Yep.
Bomb.com.
You can tell we're at the end of the show. It's talking about food. By the way, the Bulls have
What are we doing?
the Bulls have a 1.7 chance to get the number one overall pick. Utah Jazz has the best at 14%. Also, the Wizards and the Hornets at 14%. They've gotten, obviously, the number one pick with Elton Brand in 99, and Derrick Rose was 2010?
2008.
Oh, damn, missed it by 2 years. There you go.
By that much?
By that much. Elton Brand didn't work out so well. Derrick Rose did until he got hurt. Damn Adidas. And I like Adidas shoes, but if people blame them, I can't get off on a rant on that.
Land the plane, Brian.
Takeaways, 312-591-8300. I'm still thinking about the kangaroo. 312-591-8300. Text in your takeaways, something that was memorable to you on today's show. Plenty to choose from, something that stayed in your brain. 312-591-8300. Text in your takeaway.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Perfect song for the summer. Lauren's in to take you through the rest of this glorious Monday. 312-591-8300. You send in your takeaways from today's show, something that was memorable to you. And let's start with Case, as we always do. What do you got on the text line, Case?
Omar's takeaway. It's in Orlando?
Wow. Kenzie.
Double features Mike takeaway. You can't get laid when you're bogged down with assignments.
It's true.
Amen, brother. Absolutely.
Math is the number one C blocker out there, without question. And finally, Marshall checked in. Takeaway from the 815. If you can't get behind a kangaroo, run away at 13 miles per hour and hope it doesn't have nos. Famous line from Fast and Furious.
It don't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. Winning's winning.
Especially with kangaroos.
That's right.
What's on the podcast, Case?
What a day on the Brian and Kenzie podcast. We invited the Pope to Twisted Christmas, pending an
We
invite.
did? I don't remember
that. There is a hang-up in that, Twisted does imply some satanic or demonic nature. I don't know if the Pope's going to make it. But
Well, you're the one that said that you were scared if you said, I'm not going to Twisted, the demons and the devil's involved.
Yeah.
You said that, Kenzie.
Yes, you did.
I'm not going if that's what it means, but I didn't think that's what it meant. I thought we were just like, we're drinking a little bit.
We're getting twisted.
Also on the podcast, John Mellencamp told Kenzie to go F herself. You can listen to that story on the Brian and Kenzie podcast. And, of course, if you just got here, I'll say it, a Mount Rushmore level Brian and Kenzie segment this morning. Something going into the Hall of Fame. We're going to send it to the National Library of Recordings. Brian is either going to fight a kangaroo or he's going to run a mile. We're going to figure out if it's one of the two. Either way, he's going to die. One of the most Brian and Kenzie segments in the history of Brian and Kenzie. I'm so lucky I got to be here to witness it, and I cannot recommend enough going back to the Brian and Kenzie podcast and giving that a listen.
Share it with your friends as well. The Brian and Kenzie podcast, and listen to it anywhere you get your podcast, whether it's Spotify or Apple, the Q101 app, Q101.com, your smart speaker at your house. You could just sit there and kick back with the window open and listen to it.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.